Hey guys, welcome back to another What Sold video. Today we're going to go over what sold from May the 19th to May the 31st. We're a little bit behind on the dates there, but I just thought it was still worth mentioning. We sold a lot of cool stuff. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and show you here on Vendu. Like I told you guys before, I just really enjoy showing you guys on Vendu because Vendu actually will show you, what we bought the item for, all the fees involved and everything like that. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started here. All right, so the first item here is a vintage Moen shower head. So this is a deluxe brass and chrome stainless shower head. So this one is actually pretty cool. So I guess what makes it more special is that it has that that brass, like, I don't know what it is. It's like muscle thingy. But so I guess it's more desirable because of that. So you can actually this one sell for more money. So this one, it shows here that we sold it for, all right, so this one, it says that it sold for $57. The marketplace fees were $14.44. We paid $5, and then we made a profit of $28.18 on this one. So that was a pretty good pickup there. A lot of people don't think anything of stuff like this, but if it's a good brand, Moen is definitely a good brand to pick up there. All right, so this next item, this is a skirt. So skirts for us, they sell really good. I always try to pick them up. This is called Title IX Women's Nimbling Tennis Skirt. So this is actually the first time that we ever got in this brand. I got it because it was very cheap. They only wanted $3.99 at the thrift store. And so we sold it for $18. So, it's not that, it doesn't sell for that much, but at least we were able to sell it really quickly, actually. So this one, we sold it for $18. We paid $3.60 on marketplace fees. This one, I forgot where it's sold because it's not showing here. And I'm sorry, guys, it's because I'm on my tablet today. So for this item, guys, we sold this one for $18. We paid $3.99 for it, and then we profited $10.41. But we actually listed it on the 12th of May, and it sold pretty quickly on the 19th. So that was a good flip overall. We were pretty happy about that one. And then next we have this Jerry men's pull-on shorts. This is, I believe, is the first time we ever get shorts on this brand. So this one is called Jerry Men's Pull-On Trail Shorts. So these were XXL, so that is a good brand, and they were actually new with tags. So I think that's why we actually were able to sell it for a little bit more. So this one, we sold it for $37.35, and then we paid $4, and we profited $21.25. This one, we sold it on eBay. So that was a pretty good pickup there. We actually, how long did it take to sell? Let me see. So we listed it on May the 6th and it sold on the 19th. So they have a really good sell-through rate. Let's see here. The next one we have, oh my God, this antique sewing machine. We had it forever. I mean, I'm surprised we sold this thing because it's so heavy. I don't even know what we were thinking when we picked it up. But that was actually, we picked it up at the first rummage sale we've ever been to. And I remember I was so disappointed at that rummage sale. I was like, it doesn't have anything rummage in it. But anyway, so this one, we sold it probably a year after we listed it. This one is called Antique 1925 Singer Sewing Machine. And so this one is really cool, actually. So let me just show it to you guys really quickly here. So you see all those details that it has. It's really nice, actually. I was really surprised that it took this long, but I can understand because it's really heavy. So, I mean, literally, it costed just as much to ship as the item. So that was pretty crazy. We did ended up lowering the price a lot so that it would just move because we were just tired of having it at home. So there you go. So this one, we sold it on the 19th. We listed it on January 14th of 2024. And it actually took more than a year to sell. And we sold it on May the 19th of this year. We sold it on eBay. So we sold it for $103.75. That was the total price. And then we paid only $10. and then we profited $48.95. So it was still a good profit there. But we're definitely not going to be picking up those again. Let me see here. The next item. Oh, this the Meroc Deep Squat Machine. This one, I found it at a thrift store. I did pay up for it, so I was kind of like not too sure about it, but the sell-through rate was decent. So we decided to pick it up because of that. Now thinking about it though, we didn't make as much profit. We thought we were going to make more profit, but the shipping was just so expensive and we didn't really account for that. And so we kind of had to lower the price. I think actually this one we might have taken just an offer for it. So this one is called Meroc Deep Squat Workout Machine. So this one we sold it, I believe, on Mercari. Yeah, so we sold it on Mercari. We listed it March the 3rd this year, and then it sold on May the 20th. We sold it for $67.96, and then the shipping was actually what they paid for the shipping. So it was a total of $37.92 what we profited. So a little bit more than double, which is not that bad. Took a couple months there to sell. And this is what it looks like. So I mean, if you're able to get this for cheaper, I pay like $25 for it. So I mean, if you're able to get it for cheaper, it's a good deal. They do have a decent sell-through rate, so that's kind of like the only reason why I got that. And then next we have this lounge fly. So this one, I was kind of like not too sure if I should pick it up or not because we got it at a yard sale and I didn't notice when I got it. They only had it for $1. And when we got home, I noticed that the little like clip was ripped off, but the clip was still there. So I mean, we just pretty much sold it as it was, and we just pretty much disclosed that it had that damage, and it still sold relatively quickly. So this is what it looks like. It's really cute actually. I think it's kind of like for trick-or-treating, like to put your candy in there. So it's pretty nice. And this one, let me see here. So we listed it on May the 15th and it sold on 5 days. So it only took 5 days to sell. It sold for $29.95 on Whatnot. We paid $1 and then we profited $25 on that. So it was pretty good in my opinion. Even with the damage, they didn't say anything. So I mean, I'm glad they read the description because a lot of people, you know, they don't read descriptions. This next item is called Withings. I think this is like a machine for blood pressure. Yeah. Withings BPM Connect Wi-Fi Smart Blood Pressure Monitor. So this one I got it at a thrift store. And this one had a really good sell-through rate. So I did pay $7.50 for this. We listed it on April the 26th and it sold on May the 20th on Poshmark. We profited $24.50 for this one. So that was pretty good. And then this is how it looks. It's kind of like a smart device. When I looked at it like the first time, I wasn't really sure what it was. But yeah, that's what it looks like. Let's take a look here at the other item, the next item. So this one is a vintage polo. Is it Ralph Lauren? Let me see. Yeah, Ralph Lauren men's short sleeve polo shirt. So Ralph Lauren sells really good for us. It's more of like a bread and butter, but we keep picking it up, especially we pay very little for it. This is what it looks like. So it's just a regular polo. Nothing too crazy, but they're still very desirable. And this one, we listed it. This one we actually took longer. Like I said, it's just bread and butter, but we listed it on July of last year and it sold this year, May the 21st. And we sold it on Poshmark. We took an offer for $20 and then we profited $12.66. We only paid $3.34 for this. So usually for shirts like this, we would just pay like maximum maybe $5, and that's only we can at least make $25. All right, the next item here. So this one I kind of took a little bit of a risk. It was cheap, that's why. So I was like, I'm just gonna get it because it was a good brand. It's Pottery Barn. Actually, no, it's not Pottery Barn. It's Vintage California Pottery Art. So my dad has this thing that he loves owls. So I got it. I was like, I'm gonna get it. If it doesn't sell, I'm gonna give it to him. But so this one, this is how it looks. It's really cute actually. You see how like the eyes are kind of like realistic there. But I took a chance on this one. I only paid $3. We sold it on eBay. We listed it on December 15 and it sold on May the 21st. So it did took like 5 months to sell. We sold it for $32.03 though. So it was a good price. It was a good price. That's kind of like the only reason why I picked it up too. I was like, if I know I can make a decent amount of money on this, like I'll grab it. This one though, it seems, let me see. So we priced 32. Wow, eBay charged a lot of fees on this one. So we only made $15.23. But I mean, it's good. Anything that's like pretty much above like $8 is like reasonable. We prefer like over 10, but you know, it's okay. This is kind of like more like bread and butter for us. Let me see here. So this next item, this is really cool. So this one, I don't know if you guys remember, but I don't know, it was like 5 videos ago. We went to a yard sale and they just had a bunch of Fredericks of Hollywood corsets. So Fredericks of Hollywood, they actually sell really good for us. I usually try to get them like for really cheap because like they're kind of bread and butter for us as well. But if the more detail they have, like the more sexy they are, like the best the best they will sell. But usually we would get around $35 for them. So this one, let me just show it to you because this one is actually pretty cute. So I guess it's vintage, and so as you can see, it has like all kinds of like different patterns on it. And so I mean, this one sold really quickly, and it had a bunch of likes and stuff on Depop. Let me see here. Yeah, so this one we listed it on May the 15th and it sold on May the 21st on Depop for $34.95. And then we paid $177 at the yard sale. We profited $31.30. So that was really good. So I actually picked up a bunch of them. So I have more. Some of them were damaged, but the guy kind of just, you know, he was like, just take them all. And I was like, didn't want to be rude, so I just took them. But I just ended up listing like 5 of them, I think. And so far, I think like 3 already sold. So they're doing pretty good. All right, let's see here the next item. Let me go to the next page. All right, so the next item here is a J. Crew men's 100%, is it cotton? Let me see. Irish linen. So linen, guys, sells really good for us. So anything that's linen, I mean, in my opinion, I would pick it up. You might not get like as much money, depends on the brand, but you're still gonna get at least 20 bucks for it. So I get linen. It sells really good for us. This is how it looks. It's just a regular linen long sleeve shirt. I'm surprised that, you know, still selling for us, but like because it's long sleeve, but I guess it makes sense because linen is like so like airy, I guess you can call it. It's good for the summer. So this one is called J. Crew Men's 100% Irish Linen long sleeve shirt. This one we sold it on Depop. And we listed on March 9th of this year, and it sold on May the 22nd for $20. And we did pay up $7.50 for this one, so we didn't make as much. But it sold relatively quickly. I mean, it sold within the 90 days, so or close to the 90 days, so that's good. We only made $11.11 on that one. I don't know if it's a sign. Is it a sign? 11:11. Does it happen to you guys? Like sometimes I look at the clock and it's like feels like it's always 11:11. I don't know. That's weird. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next item. So the next item here is this vintage Bonnie. Is it Bonnie? Sorry guys, because it like changed the screen and then I can't see. Vintage Bonnie Condor de Rivera and Me. Is it? Yeah, is that artist? Diego Rivera. Yeah, Diego Rivera and Me. So I mentioned to you guys that I found a bunch of these pins. When I say a bunch, I found 5, so it wasn't that crazy, but to me it was crazy the way I found them. But so these pins, they were in excellent condition, other than like the holes that the thrift stores always poke on stuff, which I hate, by the way. Like the shirts, sometimes that I buy the shirts, literally like I buy a perfectly good shirt, okay? And then I take the tag off and it has a huge hole. Like, how do we even hide that? And then they put it right here on the collar, so it's like impossible. So now we have to lower the price or just call it a loss. Like, it's... Anyway, going back to this. So I found these pins and I found like 5 of them. And each one of them, guys, sells for like $65. I'm pretty sure we could have gotten more for them, and actually did raise the prices on them after, because 2 of them sold really quickly, and I'm like, maybe I'm selling them too cheap. I kind of raised the price. The reason why I raised the price on them though is because these ones are brand new and they still have like the little packaging that it came in. The other ones that they're selling on eBay, they don't come with a packaging. So I was like, I'm just going to raise it up a little bit. But anyway, this lady bought two of them. So she bought this one, and then she bought another one that I'm going to show you right now. And so this ones, they actually, anything that's Bonnie Condor, it sells really good. I guess it's an artist from back then. I don't know. Never heard of her before. But this one, we sold it on eBay, and we listed it May 22nd, and it sold the same day. She bought both of them the same day. And we sold this one for $70. We paid $199, and we ended up making $51.80 on this one. So that one was just amazing. Can you imagine, like, something so small can give you that much profit? Like, it's insane. And those, actually, the small stuff is like the stuff that we usually kind of pass on. So don't discriminate. Look at the small stuff too, because you can find a lot of value on those. And this is the other one that she bought as well. But I'm going to show it to you guys because it's really nice as well. I mean, it's actually kind of weird looking. I guess this artist used to make like inspired art. So like she would get inspired by like, I don't know, by like other artists, like really famous artists like Da Vinci and stuff. And then she would make like little pieces of like art, like that will resemble that art. I don't know. But yeah. And so this one is called Vintage Bonnie Condor Mural and Me 3D Color Brooch. And this one, the same, we listed it for the same $70. So we also profited $51.80. So if you ever see those, even if they don't come with a packaging, just that pin itself, it pretty much sells the same for $70. Next we sold this meat cutter. So this meat cutter, I bought it at the Goodwill bins. I wanted it for me, and then I realized that I didn't even know what I was thinking of, like what I was thinking, because like I was never gonna use it, you know. I'm like, why did I even buy this? But anyway, I don't know when I was gonna be cutting meat, but there you go. So I bought that, and then I realized I didn't want it anymore, so I just ended up selling it. So this one is called Chef's Choice International Electric Food Slicer. This one we sold it for $80. The cost of goods, it seems like we forgot to put the cost of goods here. I think it's probably because since I had it and then I was like, I'm just gonna sell it. I think that's why we didn't put it, because it was kind of like if it was our item. But this one, we got it at the Goodwill bin, so it was kind of a little bit heavy. So it wasn't like too heavy, maybe like $5 or something. So we still ended up profiting like $40 on this one. This one sold on eBay. We listed it on March the 26th, and then it sold on May the 22nd. So that was good. Usually, like I try to, like when I buy stuff for me, it's weird. Like it's just becoming like a habit now that I just look at the sell-through rates of stuff. And like if it's not something good, I'm like, I'm not gonna pick it up, because if I want to resell it, I'm not gonna get enough. I don't know, I'm just weird like that. And this next item is this Vera Bradley purse. So Vera Bradley still continues to sell really good for us, especially on Depop. I feel like people there on Depop, they just love Vera Bradleys, especially just like the little purses, like that. The more Y2K-ish they look, like the better. But this one, it's just a normal little wallet, nothing too crazy. I don't even know where we got this one, probably at a yard sale or something. Let me take a look here at the price. Depending how much we pay for it, let me see. Yeah, we paid $2. So $2, we probably got it at a yard sale. So $2, and then we sold it on Depop. We listed it on May the 21st, and it sold the next day for $14.95. So they're not like big money makers, but bread and butter, still good. We profited $11.77 on that. So that was great. This next item is a little hat. Is it a hat? I don't know. Let me see. U.S. Army wool beret. Garrison collection. It's a beret. I guess it's a beret. So this one, Josh picked it up. I believe he got it at a yard sale. And I think he picked that up together with like uniforms as well. But this one, we listed it on February the 9th. And then we sold it on Poshmark on March the 22nd. We sold it for $20. And we paid $1. We profited 15 on that one. And then this is what it looks like. It's kind of like military. Let's see here. The next item. So this next item, guys, we picked it up at a yard sale, and I literally thought that we weren't going to sell it that fast because we realized that the sell-through rate wasn't that good. And weird enough, I don't know if it's our keywords or what. Probably, most likely, honestly. I feel like since we've been doing a lot of keywords, our stuff has been moving a lot, like a lot easier, especially like the stuff that has a lower sell-through rate. But this one, we got at a yard sale. And this is what it looks like. It's just a long sleeve, Rockaware Y2K shirt, button-up shirt. And so this one, we sold it for $27. That was the total. We profited $19.60. And we sold it on Poshmark. So Poshmark's been doing really good for us. Like, a lot of people are talking about, you know, all the, because they're kind of getting banned and stuff from Poshmark for like delisting and stuff. But we honestly, you know, knock on wood, we haven't gotten any like type of like, we haven't had any issues with them. And so we've never delisted before. So I think like we probably delisted like at the beginning just because like we were new at the platform. So we weren't sure like how to go about it. But I told Josh, I'm like, I'm getting likes on my items and I'm getting, you know, views and stuff. So if I delist the item, you know, all those viewers and likes and stuff, they're just going to go away. So I just didn't want like the item to start over and over. But I guess it makes sense like if you want to refresh an item, like if it's just doing really bad. But we've never done it. And regardless, we've still, you know, been doing pretty steady. And thankfully, we never did it because I honestly think like they're like targeting people that were doing it like for a long time. And I feel like that's the people that they've been kind of like banning. But I did hear somewhere that there was like some kind of issue with their system and that they were pretty much, it was like they were using AI or something, like something automated that it was causing like to just ban accounts. But I don't know, guys. I'm not too sure about that one, but we just been selling as usual and we haven't had any issues. And I do use Flip, by the way. So I use Flip as my like posh robot. What's it called? My posh bot. So this one, yeah, we profited $19.60. So it was pretty good. All right, so the next item here is this Fujifilm. This one, it took a long time to sell. This one, I think we've had it for a long time. Let me see. So Fujifilm ZX drum. So this one, we listed it on February of last year, 2024. We sold it on eBay for $20.94 and we profited $8.62. So that's not a good item. Let me see here. The next item. So this is just a little Garmin GPS thingy. So genuine Garmin GPS GTM 25 traffic receiver. This one we sold it for $23.40. And cost of goods doesn't have a top. Oh, this one I think we got it like at a yard sale or something. And we actually got like the whole Garmin like GPS thing. But it was broken, didn't work. So we just decided to sell the charger for it or like the cable for it. And that's why we put 0 because probably we didn't remember or something. But there you go. So it says that we profited $13.61. So maybe $10 after like the cost of goods there. But this one, it seems like it sold relatively quickly. We listed it on March 3 and then we sold it on May the 23rd. So it wasn't that bad. All right, so the next item, let me take a look here. We have this vintage Y2K skirt. So this one is a pleated skirt. It's just, this one was just awesome. Like, I just had to grab it because it was just so in style. And I'm like, I'm just going to pick it up and we'll see what happens. So as you can see, it screams Y2K. It had a lot of attention from the beginning, like since we listed it. And then we I believe, I don't know if we took an offer or not, probably because it says we sold it for $28.95. We paid $4 for this. We profited $14 and we sold it on eBay. We listed it the 12th of May and it sold the 23rd. So that was pretty quick. The next item here is a 2 set of shirts. These ones are TQL. This is just a company that Josh used to work for a long time ago. He just had the shirts there, so he decided to sell them. So I'm happy that they sold, because we honestly were just gonna like donate them or throw them away or something, because he wasn't gonna obviously use them anymore. And so we profited $11.80. We put cost of goods 0 because they were pretty much given to him, and the total incoming was $21.35 what we sold it for. This one's they don't really have a really good sell-through rate, so you know, this is just something that we sold because we had it there. And then next we have this official Pokemon hoodie beanie, I'm sorry. So this one, we got it at the Goodwill bins. We sold it for $15.88. We paid $117 and we profited $7.05. This one sold relatively quickly. We listed it May the 13th and we sold it on May the 24th on eBay. So that was pretty good. All right, guys. So the next item here will be tactical. What is it called? Let me see here. Tactical OWB RH paddle holster. So this is a holster. I think Josh got this like, I forgot, maybe at like the bins, like the Amazon bins. So this one we listed it on January the 16th and then it sold on May the 24th on eBay for $21.35. We paid $2.19 and then we profited $10.40 for this one. And this is what it looks like. It's just a gun holster. All right, let me see here. The next item is actually another one of those TQL shirts, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skip it. And then this Callaway. So these shoes, we got them at a yard sale, I believe, a long time ago too. They took a long time to sell, which was surprising because they're Callaway. But it's because it's probably because it's for women. And I don't think that women's stuff in Callaway like sells that good for us. I don't know, does it sell good for you guys? Like, because for us, I mean, we don't find that many of it. But these shoes, they took a long time. Like, we've had it since December of 2024. And actually, it's not that bad. I thought we had it like for way longer than that for some reason. And then they sold on May the 25th. So, I mean, 5 months, not that bad. And then we sold them for $33.04. We paid $7 and we profited $13.25. And this is what they look like. These were pretty nice, actually. All right, let's see here. All right, guys, so next we have this Wrangler men's rugged shirt. This one, I do remember it, like we got it some time ago already. It wasn't a good seller. This one, let me see here. We listed it on January the 7th of last year. And then we sold it this month, or last month actually, May 24th. So it took a long time. We sold it for $17.87, most likely a offer. And when we only profited $5.40 for this one. So at least it's out of here, but we're definitely not going to be picking up those again. And then this is how it looks. It's just a regular button-up Wrangler shirt. All right, let's see here. The next one. So this next one, guys, it's actually a recent buy. We got this at the Goodwill bins. And so I've told you guys before, but basically if we find like machines, like it could be vacuums or pretty much anything that we can part out at the Goodwill bins, we'll part it out. If it has a good sell-through rate, we'll do that. And it's kind of perfect because since you can technically, you know, just buy the little part, you don't have to buy the whole thing. It's good, you know. So we actually try to do that if we can. So this one is a Hoover Power Scrub Elite Pet Dirty Water Recovery Tank. So this is just the tank for it. And this one we sold it for $40, $39.95. We paid $2.76 at the Goodwill bins and we profited $32.18. This one we sold it on eBay. And this is what it looks like. So basically we just cleaned it up, make it look really good, and then we just, you know, listed it like that, and it sold pretty quickly. Let me see when it sold actually. So this one we listed it on May the 18th and it sold the 26th. So very quickly. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so this next one is a U.S. Army jacket. So yeah, U.S. Army OCP combat uniform jacket. So we always pick up like military uniforms. The only thing with them is that we have to take off the patches if it has any, but it's not that bad. It's usually very easy. This one we sold it on eBay. We listed it on March. Why do I keep saying March? December 22. And we sold it on May 26. And this one, we sold it for $40. And we made $15.92 on this one. All right. This next one, guys, this was a really good pickup. So this one, I actually found it at a thrift store. I think it was the same day that I got the pins, I believe. So that was just a really good day, actually. This one is called Alterna Bamboo Volume 48 Hour Sustainable Thickening Hairspray. I don't know if this one, like, they stopped making it or something. It looks kind of old, but I'm not really sure. But this one, we sold it on Poshmark. We listed it the 22nd of May, and it sold on May the 26th for $60. We paid $3 for it, and we made $45.01 on this one. And this is what it looks like. So I was pretty happy that it was still sealed in there. I don't know if they would still sell, like, if they're not sealed. I'm not really sure, but pretty good. $60, not that bad. All right, so let me see here the next item. Oh, finally. So this one, guys, I found this one some time ago. Not that long ago, but some time ago. Let me see here when we bought it. So this one, we listed it on February the 20th, and then we sold it on March the 26th for $148.35. We paid $10, and we profited $102. So this item, I was not really sure because there was like no listed exactly like this one. And everywhere I looked, like I couldn't find like the same item anywhere. But I took it because of the quality. It was really good quality. This is like a flameless, I guess it is, it does have a flame, but it's, what does it say? Ignites with the torch of a button. And so it has a remote control. It says the condo has okay, so it has actually real wax and it has a real flame. But I guess the cool thing about them is like if they fall or something, they just kind of turn off by themselves. So, and they have a remote control, which is pretty cool. So I got this one because it was brand new in the box. And so I was like, I'm going to take a chance. It's only $10. Maybe worst case scenario, I can sell it for like $60 or something. But no, I ended up selling for our full asking price. So we were pretty happy about that. So, you know, if you see these ones, they actually, I think that they don't make them anymore. So I think that was another reason why I got it because, you know, I thought maybe like there was going to be more demand for them. And so, yeah, they still sell the cart, like the refill. So that's a good thing. But if you ever see those, definitely worth picking them up, especially if they're brand new in the box. So next up, guys, this next item is a CeraVe, like it's like so these ones are actually, I think they're just samples, but I found a bunch of them. Like I went to the thrift store, it was like 3 weeks ago or something, and I just found a bunch of them. And so I just decided to buy them because they had a really good sell-through rate. These ones I sold 2 of them. So this is is it 2 of them? Oh, this is actually, is it just one? Let me see. Okay, so this one, guys, I actually sold it for $27.62. We paid $3 for this, and we profited $14.04. We sold it pretty quickly though. We listed it on May the 22nd, and it sold on the 27th on eBay. And this one, I just decided to take a chance on them. I saw that they were selling some of them. Like one guy had like a bunch of them and he was just selling them constantly. So there was literally only like one listing, but he was selling a bunch of them, like hundreds of them. So I was like, I'm just gonna take it because, you know, it's selling good. And so these are just samples though. So usually like you wouldn't resell samples, but they were selling, so I picked them up. And then this is how they look. So they just come like each individually, like little samples. I guess it's good for like traveling and stuff. Like I can see how somebody would buy something like that. But they do sell for pretty good money actually, you know? Like I think we sold it for like 25, so 27.62 was like the total for it. But this is a PM, so it seems like the PM sells better than the AM. But you know, I got AMs and I think I also got like something for like acne. Let me take a look here. So the next one is a Columbia shirt. So Columbia does really good for us. That's another bread and butter for us. This one, let me take a look here. So we listed it on August the 8th of last year and it sold on May the 27th. We sold it for $24.51. We paid $4. We profited $10.62. And so this one is a Columbia titanium men's long sleeve vented button-up shirt. I mean, it's pretty good. This is, you know, just bread and butter for us. I think that, you know, it's important still to have bread and butter because you want, you know, those fillers in there when your really high like value items are not selling constantly. So we still pick them up. And as you can see, it's just a regular Columbia shirt. Especially we get them like at yard sales and stuff. Like, it's perfect. All right, so next up, guys, and I think, let me see here. I have this vintage Cabela Safari men's button-up short sleeve. So this one, Cabela's also does really good for us. This is also our bread and butter. We sold it for $29.91. We paid $195 and we profited $17.04. This one probably sold it on eBay. And as you can see, it's just a regular shirt. It kind of looks like for security or something, but no, it's probably for camping or, you know, the outdoors. But it is a vintage shirt. And let me take a look here. This next one is a linen blend skirt. So this one, I took a chance on this one because I've heard a lot of people do really good with Old Navy. And since it was linen, you know, I decided to get it. So this is a Old Navy women's linen blend midi skirt. So you gotta make sure you put your keywords in there. So it's just a basic linen skirt. So nothing really special with it. And it sold relatively quickly. I listed it on April the 12th, sold on May the 27th for $20. I paid $6 for this and we profited $10.01. So not that bad. All right, let's see here. The next item is a Callaway shirt. So let me see here. We constantly just keep getting these type of shirts from Callaway. Sometimes we even pair them together to kind of, you know, raise the price. This one does have a pattern on it, so that was a good thing. Let me see what's the pattern look like. I don't even know what that pattern is, but we listed it as a Callaway Opti-Dry men's short sleeve golf polo shirt. AOP, it just says all over print. We sold it for $16 and we paid $6.98. We did pay a little bit more than we would have liked for this one, and we only profited $5.82 for this. All right, next we have this Pop Icon clothing for buckle men's shirt. So this one, I think this is like the first time we ever picked up Pop Icon. And so it does pretty good for us. We always pick it up. Well, not always, but from now on, we're going to be picking it up. But this one, so we sold it on eBay, listed it on November 23rd, and it sold on May the 27th for $28.46. We paid $2, and then we profited $16.42 for this one. So not that bad. And then this is what it looks like. So it does have the pearl snap there, so that's pretty desirable. And I think also the crosses or whatever that is also makes it more desirable. Let me see here. So next up, this is just a cotton twill thing that I bought a long time ago. This is from like the Amazon bins. So, not really worth mentioning. It took forever to sell. It has a horrible sell-through rate. So let's just move over here. So these next ones are the Walk Hero Comfort soles. So soles, we don't pick them up that much anymore. I don't think we pick them up at all, actually, because they don't do as well. Like, they would sell, but the sell-through rate is not that good. So this is like an old item that we had. This one, let me see here. We listed it on April the 3rd, 2025. It sold on May the 28th for $20, one of them. So let me see. Yeah, so that's the one. For $20. And then we profited $9.79. So it seems like we had two of them. And so one of them actually just sold recently as well. All right. Let's see here. The next item. All right, guys. So for the next item, this is a vintage 1994 Kenner Littlest Pet Shop. So this one, guys, I was super excited when I found it because they only wanted $3 for it. And I found like four of them. So I kind of found like somebody's whole little collection of them. And they sell really good. And I actually took an offer on Poshmark. It seems like I sold them for $46.25 each. It's not showing all of them on this listing, but I did sell like four of them together to the same person. So I made $34.01 per little like toy. So this was just an amazing buy, this find. And then as you can see, this is what they look like. And it came with a box and it wasn't missing any parts. So that was, I think, the best thing. That's why I was able to get like the most money for them. So, actually this one, unfortunately, seems like the person, when they got it, they were trying to like put a claim in because I guess the box got wet. And so one of the boxes got damaged, but the rest of them were fine. But she did end up keeping them. And I think it's just because they're so rare. And so she ended up keeping them anyway. But she did complain. I guess Poshmark did send her like a little refund there. But we were able to keep all our money. So I was pretty happy about that. So this one, yeah, was a pretty good buy. Let me see here. Our next item. So this is another part, guys, that we got from the Goodwill bins. So this is just a Keurig, like, it says single serve coffee maker filter basket. So Josh just parted this out of the coffee maker. We sold it for $24.56 on eBay. We paid $117 for it, and we profited $13.36 from this. So this is just a regular like little coffee filter holder thing. All right, let's see here. The next one is Wrangler, some Wrangler jeans. Are this cargo? Let me take a look. So it says Wrangler Authentics Men's Relaxed Fit Classic Cargo Pants. And this is what they look like. So they were actually brand new. Brand new. So let me see here if this says anything. It's just Authentics. So this one, we actually sold it for $38.44. We paid $6.38. And we sold it on eBay. We listed it March 9th and it sold on May the 28th. We profited $14.49 for them. So that was a good pickup there. Let me see here. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay. Let's see. We have any other items here for the 31st? Okay. Oh, yeah. So as you can see, these are the other ones, guys. The other ones that we sold together with the bundle. So it says $59.95, but no. We ended up, because they did a bundle, so I gave them a deal. So they all sold for the other amount, which is like $48 a piece. And then next we have this Fitbit watch thingy. I don't think it's a watch. It's something else. It says Fitbit Sip Wireless Activity Tracker. So I don't know how you wear this thing, but it had a really good sell-through rate. And so I decided to pick it up. I did pay, I remember, $10 for this. But it sold very quickly for $16.95. We paid $10. We profited $39.02. And I believe, yeah, so we sold it on eBay. We listed it May 28th, and it sold the same day. So that was pretty good. Next up, we have this Fear First Encounter Assault Recon game. This one, I found this one at the Goodwill bins. And I remember nobody picked this up. I was like, it's weird because, you know, like there's guys that literally just, or people that just literally buy this type of things. So I was pretty surprised. Nobody picked it up, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a look. Usually when I find them, they don't go for that much, so I don't even pick up video games that much anymore. But this one, it didn't go for any crazy amount of money, but it was reasonable. So sold it on Mercari, listed it May the 7th, sold on the 28th of May. And this one sold it for $18.99 on an offer. And then the cost of goods was $117. We profited $15.39 on this one. Let me see here. The next one is this Hitachi. I think it's an impact. Yeah. So Hitachi Impact Driver. So this one didn't have a charger, but we do pretty good with this type of tool. Even if it doesn't have like the charger. And so this one, let me see here. We listed it on May 27th and we sold it on May the 29th on eBay for $38.40. We paid $5.23 and we profited $17.83. So that was pretty good. All right, so let me see here the next one. So this one, guys, I took a little, you know, risk on this one. Took a chance because I wasn't really sure. I couldn't find anything that was like the same. But I was like, I think I can at least get $50 because it was brass. And so this one is like an FBI plaque thingy. I don't know if like this is what they get after they finish like the program or something, the training, but it just felt like really good quality and it's like engraved in the metal there. And they only wanted like $3, I think. Let me see. Yeah, $3. So this one, we sold it on, we listed it April 28th. We sold it on May the 29th on eBay for $50.23. And then we only paid $3. We profited $26.42 on this one. So that was pretty good. This next one, guys, I picked it up at a thrift store. And so this one, I actually liked it for myself, but I was like, I'm just gonna see if it sells, you know. I paid $3 for this. We listed it on April the 30th. It sold on May the 29th on eBay for $42.81. I paid $3. We profited $25 on this one. And this is just kind of like a vintage Frankenstein, like little lamp. I thought it was like a scent. Like a scent thing, but I connected it and I couldn't smell anything, and I couldn't find anything like it too. So it was pretty unique, and I decided to take a chance. That is kind of like ceramic, and so it was really well made. I just really liked it, and it looks really pretty when it's on. Actually, let me see. I don't know if he took a picture of it on. No, it seems like he didn't, but it looks really nice when it's on. So this one's called Vintage. We put 9-inch Frankenstein bubble light lamp. I think the top thing that it has over the head is called a bubble light. So so when you turn it on, it kind of like does little bubbles on it. So it's pretty cool. All right, so the next item here is a RCVA Men's Heritage Chino Shorts. This one's, we don't pick up RCVA that much. But we probably got it at a yard sale or something, or at the Goodwill bins. We sold it for $15.03. We paid $2.50 and we made only $3.13. So that was pretty bad, actually. So don't pick up that unless you get it for like 25 cents or something. But yeah. All right. So next up we have this Ring door cam. So I don't think this is a Ring door cam though. Ring indoor cam. So Ring indoor cam plug-in HD security camera. This one I picked it up at a thrift store, and they only wanted $5. And so they had a really good sell-through rate. So that's why I picked it up. This one sold on Whatnot. So we listed it on the 29th of May, and it sold the next day on the 30th for $34.95, which was a full asking price. And we profited $26.63 on this one. And this is just kind of like I don't know, it's just, you know, a little camera. I kind of wanted to keep it, you know, I want to keep everything. Literally, I'm like, I wanted to keep it. I'm always like, I want to keep it, right? But no, I prefer to make the money. All right, so let me see if there's anything else here for the 30. Yeah, so then this Verizon LTE network extender. So Verizon, guys, just sells really good for us. I love Verizon, like items like Verizon, especially their like Wi-Fi extenders and stuff like that. So this one, we listed it. Let me take a look here. Well, let me show you guys first how it looks. It just looks like a square. We picked this up at the Goodwill bins. I thought it was broken initially because, or like missing parts because of how it looks on the back there. But no, it was good. I think it might have been missing something, but I don't think it's like needed. So we still sold it for $75. We paid $10 for this. And I think this is wrong. Yeah, this is wrong because I don't think we would have paid $10 at the Goodwill bins for this. It says that we profited $50. So we probably profited like $55 because I think it wasn't that heavy actually. So I probably paid like $3 for this thing. So this is called Verizon LTE Network Extender Cellular Signal Booster. And then it didn't even have the power adapter. So that was pretty good. All right, so next up we have this Comcast Xfinity controller. This one I got it also at the Goodwill bins. So this one, did I get it at the Goodwill bins? Let me take a look here. If it comes in the package, then no. No, so I don't remember where I got this one. Probably if it has a packaging, maybe like the Amazon bins, probably a long time ago or something. I don't know. Let me check. So it says that no, we actually bought it on, we listed it on May the 15th and then we sold it on May the 30th. So most likely we got this at one of our local thrift stores here. So we sold it on eBay for $27.46. We paid $3.75 and we profited $14.04. And this is how it looks. So it's just a Xfinity controller. All right. Next up, we have this condenser microphone. I think this one we've had it for a long time. Let me see. Condenser USB microphone with the tripod. This thing, I think we got it like, I don't even know where we got it because I think we got it a long time ago. Yeah, January 29th of last year. So we sold it finally on May the 30th on eBay for $16.70. So yeah, that was like a horrible pickup. We paid $2. We profited $2.38. Crazy. Let me see here. The next item. So this next item, guys, is an Eli Cattleman's men's, is it a button down? Let me see. Pearl snap shirt. So with pearl snap, we usually do decently good. It's kind of like a bread and butter for us. So we always kind of pick them up, especially if it has like that rancher style. That's really desirable. And this one actually seems like it had tags. So that's even better. It says, yeah, Western country. Yeah, so it's kind of that type of style. We sold it for $25. We paid $7.99. So we did pay up a little bit more than we would have wanted to, but I think it's because of the sell-through rate. Let me see. Well, we listed it on January 9th. So, I mean, it took a little bit. Probably had like a 50% sell-through rate or something. And we sold it on May the 31st on Poshmark. We profited $12.01 for that one. Okay. Let me see here. And then next we have this Verizon Fios Wi-Fi extender. So again, Verizon Fios just does really good for us. So this one I've showed it multiple times because we just have one listing. We usually just, whenever we find them, we just keep adding on to it. This is what they look like. They kind of look like humidifiers, but they have a really, really good sell-through rate. And you know, if you ever see them out there, if you get them for a good price, that's a good deal. So we sold it for $47.96. And this one, guys, we only sold it for that amount because we would get like $100 for it, $120 for them. But we sold it for cheaper because it didn't have the cord. And so we couldn't really, you know, price it that high. And the cord, I think it was decently expensive. So, you know, we couldn't ask for that much. So this one, we sold it on Mercari. We listed it April the 22nd, and then it sold on May 31st. and we paid $3.99 for this. We profited $38.18 for this one. So that was pretty good. And that is it, guys, for today's video. I want to thank you so much for watching till the end. If you haven't subscribed, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps us, you know, just to keep us motivated, keep it going, making videos for you guys. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.